Hello, good morning. My name's Christine Russell, and for the last 4 or 5 years I've been spearheading the campaign to bring a theatre and a cinema back to the heart of the historic city of Chester, because visitors and residents to Chester just find it unbelievable that a city of the size and the importance of Chester doesn't have a city centre cinema nor a theatre. And I believe passionately, and the Odeon Action Group believes passionately, that there are 5 reasons why we want the cinema and the theatre back. The first is that young people in Chester have no alternative to alcohol-fueled entertainment if they want a good night out. The second reason is that families have nowhere to actually enjoy a night out together. The third reason is that businesses like the Coach House, where we are this morning in Town Hall Square, businesses in the city centre need culture back in the city centre. They need a vibrant city when the shops and offices close at 5 o'clock, which they don't have at the moment. So it's important for the future prosperity of Chester. The other reason is that we're a tourist city and tourists need something to do on a rainy day, and at the moment there's nowhere to go. And the final thing is the Gateway Theatre used to provide a home for all the wonderful arts groups, the Operatic Society, the Wind Band, Scoutabout. They don't have a venue anymore. They're forced to go out of Chester to Wrexham, to Theatre Clwyd, to Ellesmere Port. And we, the Odeon Action Group, think the solution is easy. It's on our doorstep here to the Coach House. It's to reopen the Odeon Cinema as a venue for live performances, for theatre, for dance, for music, but also this space to accommodate a 2-screen cinema. So I'd like now to hand over to Ben is going to give his reasons as a theatre director why we need the Odeon reopened. Ben.
My name's Ben Lumsden. I'm a theatre director. I've worked in theatre for the last 20 years, producing all over the country, including the West End. And I live in Chester, and I'm flabbergasted at the state of theatre and cinema in Chester at the moment. We have a wonderful building, which used to be the Odeon Cinema, and it's very, very important that we re-establish cinema and, naturally, from my point of view, theatre in the Chester city centre. The venue itself is in the perfect position for people who are visiting the bars and clubs of Chester to attend, and it's very, very important that we get this project up and running, and we get it up and running yesterday.
I'd now like to introduce Dr. Peter Bingham. Peter is one of the founder members of the Odeon Action Group, and Peter's going to give you some very positive ideas of what you can do to help the campaign to bring theatre and cinema back to Chester.
Thank you, Chris. Given the study that Chris referred to, and also a planning application that's currently in for the Odeon building to turn it into bars come restaurants, there is something you can do. You can respond to the Cheshire West petition on the Cheshire West website. You can express your view and vote for the Odeon to become, once again, a theatre and cinema. Or you can email or get onto the chester.com website and support their petition as well. Please also, because the May elections are coming up, write to your local councillors, write to all of the candidates in your area, and if you feel strongly about life in the city centre, tell them that what you would like to see happen to the Odeon. Finally, I'd just like to say that we're pleased that the local press seems to be supporting this issue, so write letters to the paper. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Peter. I'd now like to introduce Neil Owens. Neil is the Operations Director of the Coach House here in the Town Hall Square.
Thank you, Christine. I'd just like to make a point that we businesses on the Town Hall Square need a catalyst for investment in this end of Chester. This promised investment of the Northgate development a couple of years ago brought a lot of enthusiasm and encouragement to businesses at this end of town. And with that cancellation due to the recession, the Odeon Theatre project would bring much needed investment and a catalyst to all the businesses. Yes, it would be good for us from a business point of view, but I think for Chester, if the wrong development goes ahead in that building, the problem is that this end of town will always be seen as the poor relation, and we don't want that to happen. So simply, we would give our wholehearted support to the venture to redevelop the Odeon into a theatre and cinema complex.
Thank you very much, Neil. I'd now like to introduce Rachel Dison. Rachel, again, is one of the founder members of the Odeon Action Group, and Rachel lives in the Garden Quarter and represents the views of very many people who live in Chester. Rachel.
Thank you. In the next few weeks, I think we have a real opportunity to do something fantastic for the City of Chester, if the right decisions are made. That's why I urge Chester West and Cheshire Authority not only to listen to what local people want, but to take the advice and recommendations of the experts in reports that they have actually commissioned. By acquiring the Odeon building for theatre and cinema and other cultural activities, we'd finally have the exciting arts centre in the heart of the city where it belongs. And this iconic building in this key location would be part of a real cultural quarter and wouldn't benefit not only the local shops and businesses, but would also bring a lot of benefits to the nighttime economy. Various reports by consultants have identified the need for a city centre cultural offer and the benefits of creating a much more vibrant, safer environment for people of all ages coming into the city at night. But will the local authority listen? The unrealised potential of Chester is clear for everyone to see. Please, Chester West and Cheshire, put culture, not conference centre first, and don't waste this fantastic opportunity to do the right thing for the city. Thank you.
I'd now like to introduce Simon Kensdale. Simon is a regeneration officer who has had considerable experience throughout the Northwest of running campaigns to improve the cultural offer in our towns and cities.
Thank you, Christine. Just a few things I'd like to say on this one. I haven't been in Chester that long, but there are several important points here. First of all, the Odeon is an empty building. Empty buildings cast shadows. This is a large shadow which has a negative effect, I think, on the city centre. That's recognised. And I think the council needs to show an initiative and to stop the process of emptying buildings in the city centre by reopening one, particularly one which has heritage importance. This building is important for the local economy. It's not just a question of bringing visitors in. Visitors will always come to Chester. It's a matter of increasing the time which they spend here and also increasing the amounts of money which they'll spend, a point which has been made several times but which needs to be repeated. These are very difficult economic times, but I think the point here is that the council needs to invest in the city's future. If there is to be a recovery in Chester, it will come from investment. It won't come from sitting on our hands. This is an opportunity for the council, I believe, to show some initiative and to make sure that the city moves forward at the right moment. And the final observation is, can Chester really afford not to do this in view of the fact that other cities are investing heavily in their culture and tourist infrastructure? Thank you.
I'd now like to introduce Diane Jefford. Diane is a businesswoman in the city centre and has also been a key member of the Odeon campaign from its establishment 5 years ago, I think, Diane? That long ago. So I'll now hand over to Diane.
As a businesswoman and mother of three, when the Odeon was open, it was a godsend to me during the school holidays as it provided a safe environment for the children to go to have fun. Now, with nothing in the city centre, there's nothing for their children to do. I wholeheartedly support the campaign to reopen the Odeon. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Diane. Well, as you've heard, the Odeon campaign has the support of a broad base of people across Chester. We have the support of businesses in the city centre. We have the support of arts organisations like Chester Film Society. We have the support of amenity societies like Chester Civic Trust. And we have the support of hundreds, well, actually thousands of residents across the city. We believe, as a campaign group, that the Odeon building provides the best option to bring culture back to this historic city. The Odeon could accommodate at least 800 people to watch a live performance, as well as having the space to accommodate a 2-screen cinema. We know that there are independent film producers out there who would love to open a cinema here in the heart of the city. And our final message is, it would be amazingly good for business, because all the research shows that for every £1 taken at the box office, £2 is invested in the local economy. So the Odeon Action Group firmly believe that the future prosperity of our city very much rests on the decision that the council will be taking in a few months' time. And we believe that the arguments are all in favour of the council actually acquiring and reopening the Odeon cinema, rather than building a hugely expensive conference centre and possibly a theatre down on the Little Rue D. We think the priority is very much to reopen the Odeon cinema, because that will be good for business in Chester, because for every £1 that will be taken at the box office, £2 will be invested in the local economy. Chester needs an attraction in the city centre. We need something for people to do after 5:30 when the shops and the offices close. We need to bridge that gap. We need to improve the evening economy in Chester, because at the moment it's non-existent. Thank you.